to take a look at them right now, I know you'll be politically correct, but I won't. For me, Damrep is known for baseball and BBL. Yeah, baseball and BBL right now. No offense, but it should be a problem facing Damrep. All right, greetings, sports fans. Welcome back to Edivision TV, and we're doing our preview for Jamaica versus Damrep World Cup qualifier at the National Stadium on Thursday, 6:30 p.m. And to help me break this game down, Daniel Blake from Jamaica Observer, and he's a sports reporter. Daniel, how you doing, man?
I'm not bad, Eddie. How are you doing?
I'm anxious, looking forward to this on Thursday. And folks, as I touch on the game, please remember promo code Edivision TV. So you use that to get 10% off your tickets. So whether you're buying a grandstand ticket or a bleachers ticket, use the promo code Edivision TV. All right, Daniel, I know that you said the squad, and what are your thoughts on the squad for these two upcoming games?
I think it's probably the best squad that could be assembled, knowing the number of injuries that we have and the most notable absence of a star winger from Aston Villa. But apart from that, I think it's a pretty strong squad. Obviously, we'll be missing Andre Blake as captain. I know that a lot of the players, look up to him, and he's been a very impactful player over the last few years. But when you look on the overall makeup of the squad and knowing the opponents that we are going to play, I think that this is a pretty good team that I believe can get the job done.
Yeah, and Damrep rank 150 in the world, so Dominica is the same 100 and odd, so it's supposed to be a good um, set of games for us in terms of getting the 6 points. I agree with you. It's the best that we could. I did a video talking about Coach Algrim's turning water into wine. You know what I mean? And I think he did as best as he could with the squad based on the absentees and the persons that were unavailable. I.e. Leon Daly. But it's a decent enough squad. We still have experience there. We still have Bowser, Mikel Antonio, Damon Lowe. So we still have a core, nice core. Bobby Reid is still there. So I don't think the Jamaican public should be worried. No, as it relates to the national stadium and getting the crowd in, it's been a struggle over the past set of games for us in terms of pulling up the national stadium. And 876 is now on board marketing agency to help the JFF to not only get sponsorship but to bring back fans in the stadium. Can we pull up the stadium come Thursday?
No, not at all. I think even if you were to fly in Brazil tomorrow, I don't think it would full the stadium. I just think we're at, I would say, the embryonic stage of the rebuilding of our national team, and by that I mean I think we've been disappointed year after year. The fact that we haven't qualified for the World Cup. The last set of qualifiers, I thought there was some level of excitement because that was the first time we saw consistent Premier League footballers in our team. So I remember when, Mikel Antonio, Ethan Pinnock, obviously Bobby Reid was involved in the national team for a while, but playing with Fulham, and we had these host of English-based players coming in, and even though it was during COVID time, it was like, wow, there is absolutely no way Jamaica won't qualify for Qatar 2022. And we kind of saw how things sort of unfolded. But when you look since Hallgrimson has come in, it's been sort of a repair process. So we've had some newer faces in terms of the squad. Um, a few more local players have been given opportunities in the squad, and we've had those outside of the international window friendlies against Trinidad and Tobago. So even our local players feel a little more involved. And I think also trying to use the Jamaica Premier League, we saw Sabina Park and National Stadium um, getting great crowds. So I think all of those things are helping to sort of push football back on the forefront. Obviously, not having somebody like Leon Bailey is going to be a bit harmful because, as some people might hate to admit it, but he does draw a lot of people, whether his performances for the national team have been good enough or not. So it's going to be very difficult to fill the crowd, to fill the stadium, I should say, over the next few years. I think if we get to a stage, probably like um, during that 98 campaign where we just needed to draw against Mexico. I see something like that happening, but I think it would be very difficult to fill it for a game against Dominican Republic. No disrespect to Dom Rep or our current boys, but I think that Jamaican fans are waiting for something spectacular to happen for the stadium to reach that level.
And you don't think the JPL players can pull it either. But but what would be a respectable total? So we get 10,000. To you that would be decent enough.
Yeah, 10 would be pretty good. I think even
Mm.
5 would be pretty good. Simply because we're playing again,
Yeah,
no
Damrep.
disrespect to Damrep, but this is not a game that you get excited about. This is a game where a lot of fans might just go on whichever app them use to check scores and be like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
yeah.
Reggae Boys win 5-6
Mhm.
nil." But I think what's going to be important is making a statement in this game, because that will help to change the mindset of
Yeah,
fans. So, for
yeah.
example, if the Reggae Boys go on to win 7-8 nil, people might be like, "Whoa, more going to see some goals next time, whichever country comes back."
Mm.
Whereas if we win 1-0, 2-1, worst case scenario, draw, or, you know, worser case scenario, we lose, then I think that will turn off a lot of people. But I think a statement needs to be made. We do have a strong squad. We do have players with some things to prove, and we're going into the Copa America where we have the potential to play against the likes of Brazil and Argentina, Uruguay, and those countries if we get out of the group stage. So I think laying down a mark from now is important, not just to get fans on the side, but to give confidence and move into the Copa America.
Yeah, and to take a look at Damrep now, I know you'll be politically correct, but I won't. For me, Damrep is known for baseball and BBL. Yeah, baseball and BBL right now. No offense, but it should be a problem facing Damrep. Even though they've gotten a new coach, Argentine, Marcelo. So the sky's the limit for them. They're going through a new era. A lot of young players. They're actually recruiting from their diaspora, recruiting Spanish players, and they look to build for the future. But their plan is for 2030. So obviously they're way early in their journey. But it's a good time to play them. Rather than when everybody come together and is gelling. They tend to play the ball around. They want to possess the ball a lot. Coach Algrim actually said that Yeah, and John Wall said that the 150 rank is not really a true reflection. What say you? I see it as a true reflection though, because if if even if you get the players, if you don't get the results, you're still at 150. What say you on that?
Um, you know, I don't always agree with FIFA rankings because I don't think it accurately presents certain things. So, for example, if the Reggae Boys go on a 20-game winning streak from now until the next World Cup, all we're going to do is move about 2 or 3 places from where we are. But is it a true reflection? It could be. I do think that they have been pretty inconsistent, but they have attracted a few players. Junior Firpo, who some might know at his time at Leeds, he has accepted the call up there. A decent left back during his stint at Leeds.
Mm-hmm.
I still believe he's at Leeds.
Yeah, man, it's
Um,
still at Leeds.
yeah, and they do have some other players who they've attracted to come in from Europe and so forth. So I do think they are better than 150, but probably not better than 140. Because their recent results, I think they even lost to Montserrat
Mm-hmm.
in one of their Nations League games. Um, they beat Aruba 2-0, and again, I'm not trying to play down on these countries and their footballing ability, but when we talk about Domrep and we talk about Jamaica, not in the same class.
Right.
So that's why I said it's sort of important to lay down your marker here. Don't be overconfident and think you're going to blow them out of the water, but execute well. Have that mindset that it doesn't matter which players are out there. You're going to go out and produce very good performances, and the goals will come as long as you do that.
Match prediction.
I I honestly don't see a scenario where the Reggae Boys don't score more than uh, 4 goals. It has to be 4 goals or more. It would be very hard to see a 1, 2, possibly even 3 goal game. It's just that I think the makeup of the squad, and a point that might sort of get me in trouble, but I think the fact that there is no Leon Bailey means that there might be less of a selection headache, and by that I mean Hallgrimson, his plays his traditional 4-4-2, and he has often tried to play either Bobby Reed as that sort of second striker, or we saw him try to experiment Leon as that role as well, and he either
Mm-hmm.
rotates Nicholson and Antonio. Now, I
Yeah,
see a scenario where he goes with both Nicholson and Antonio to play off
and
each other.
both right,
It would allow for Bobby Reed to play his natural right wing
right,
position.
right wing, right.
Depending on who he decides to put on the left, maybe he goes for Cephas, maybe he goes for Alex Marshall. Yeah, in terms of playing that 4-4-2, Cephas might be the most natural left winger there. Depends on if he goes inverted and plays Bobby Reed on the left, and maybe either Cephas there or Alex Marshall or whoever. But I think that this is probably his best chance of playing everybody in their natural positions in terms of midfield and forwards. So that might help the fluency, even though I know that it might not be, what should I say, they haven't played consistently enough together to know that it will work at a very efficient level. But these are professional players. These are players who have had fairly decent seasons at their clubs. I know Antonio did struggle with injuries at West Ham. Nicholson had a fairly up and down season with Clermont getting relegated. But these are quality players, and when you put them together, especially against an opponent like Domrep, it's very hard to not see a very favorable result for the Reggae Boyz.
All right, and my prediction is 2-0 to the Reggae Boyz.
Just two. Wow.
Just two, because a number of the players might be playing for the first time, just a few, and there might be a little cobweb there to end a season. So I think we get a better performance away in the second game against Dominica. But 2-0 at the office, they will be under a little bit of pressure to to get the goals. But I think they can come through that 2-0. Guys, this is my squad. This is my potential starting 11, as you can see on the screen. Let me know what you guys think about it. All right, so I want to thank sports reporter Daniel Blake from the Jamaica Observer. Thank you very much, Daniel, for joining me.
All right, Eddie, anytime.
All right, folks, that was Daniel Blake. I'm Eddie Boona, and we're out.
Hello, Alex Marshall here. Just asked you to come out Thursday. Come give us the support. You know, really need it. Big up, King. King.